Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Sorry, our session was concluded on the Zoom, so I prefer to go for the additional video lecture just to explain the topic which we were discussing already. Right? So where were we? So we have already discussed that there are two methods to draw the circle. One we have already discussed, in which you directly calculate the values of sigma max, sigma min, and tau max, theta p, and theta s using the expressions, right? And then you draw the circle accordingly. You initially calculate sigma average value, and then you calculate r, and then you put the cursor, put the compass on the sigma average, and then you draw the circle, and then you do rest of the calculation. There is another method which we are discussing, and then our session ended. So that was that we can draw the circle by the coordinates as well, right? For example, now this is the element, right? And it has sigma x value, that is sigma, sorry, now this is sigma x value, this is sigma y value, right? Sigma x is plus 50, this is plus 50, and this is minus 10 because it is in the compressive load, right? What about the tau now? The other, this is basically sigma and tau. This is again sigma comma tau. Sigma is there. Now we need to see what is the tau. So the convention is, if any tau value tend to rotate the respective face into the counterclockwise direction, it is always negative. And if it tends to rotate the face into clockwise direction, it is always positive. So clockwise is positive, anti-clockwise is negative. So this 40 megapascal tau for this sigma x value will be minus 40, and for this it will be plus 40. Right? Now you have two coordinates, 50 minus 40 minus 10 and 40. You will draw a line from this point to this point, and at the intersection of the sigma axis you will put the compass, and you will draw the circle by joining these two lines, by joining these 2 points. And then you have the sigma x value, sigma y values, and tau xy values. You have the circle as well. So now you can go accordingly. For example, this is the triangle now, right? This triangle is sigma average is as is, sigma x plus sigma y over 2, 20 megapascal. So we know that center of the circle always exists at the sigma average, so it is 20. Now what is CF, right? CF is basically the base. This is 40, that is a perpendicular, and this is the R value, right? So if this is 20 and this is 50, this point is 50 because it is on the sigma line, right? It is 50, so it will be, CF will be 30 megapascal, and Fx will be 40 then. Fx is 40 because this coordinate is 40 from here to here, coordinate is there. So R will be hypotenuse, Pythagoras theorem, so you will end up 50 megapascal with the R. Now rest are fine. We know the sigma max value is R plus uh, R plus sigma average, and sigma min value is uh, sigma average minus R value, right? So in the next slide you can see that this is the similar one which we have done. Now the theta p will be fx over cp, right? Again, this is 2 tau xy over sigma x minus sigma y value, or you can solve it in this fashion in which this is done. So theta p will be 2 theta p will be 53.1, and theta p will be 26. What will be theta s? Theta s will be plus 45, so it will be the theta s value. So theta s value will be plus 45. You always need to add the 45, and then you draw that accordingly, right? And then this is R is the tau max value. This value is the maximum tau value, which is equivalent to the R, and R is 50 megapascal, so it will be 50. And at R, 50 will be, this will be sigma. At what value? What will be the value of sigma on D? It will be sigma average value, that is 20. This is the 20. And the second coordinate will be 8. Second coordinate will be R, that will be 50. So it will be positive 50 over here, and it will be negative 50 on the downward side, because it will be negative tau side. So when you will draw, it will be the theta p, and on theta p you will only show sigma max and sigma min value, right? Sigma max and sigma min value. Whereas on theta s, you will show tau max value, and you will show the sigma values onto that, and that sigma values average value, that is the 20 over there, right? Again, in this particular case, you can go ahead accordingly. What will be the coordinates in particular case? 100 tensile, 60 tensile, so both are positive. This is going clockwise, this is going clockwise, so positive. This is going counterclockwise, so negative. So it will be 60 minus 48, 60 minus 48, and 148. 148, you will draw this line at the intersection. You will draw the circle, and then you will calculate accordingly. Rest are similar fashion you have already. You can do it accordingly, right? And this is what we have already discussed. That question says that if we move the circle to 30 degrees, theta 30 degree, theta 30 degree, and 2 theta will be 60 degree, to sum what will be the stresses. So these are the sigma x prime, sigma y prime, sigma tau x y prime is the expression which you can calculate using the trigonometric functions, right? So yes, this is the basically one convention, that if tau is rotating the respective face into this direction, that is counterclockwise, so it is negative, and if it is rotating clockwise, so it is on the positive tau side. This is sort of combined loading case. This is sort of combined loading case. You can see accordingly, you would have an idea about what is the combined loading case, but we will do a detailed one lecture on this combined loading when we will start the top of section. All right. And it is the, see, the one thing I was saying, that it is always gives you the two angles. This is always gives you the two angles, so you can look into that accordingly, but one will be sufficient in that particular case, right? So one will be sufficient, and theta p, whatsoever theta p is, you will add 45 into the theta p value, so that will give you the theta s value. And we know, we have already discussed that if it is negative, so we will rotate below the we will rotate the angle in the clockwise direction, and it is angle is positive, so we will go positive one. Okay, fine. One more point. One fine more point I remember. Again, we will go on to the example. We did that. Okay, fine. In this particular case, this is the case, right? This is what we have already discussed. In this particular, you can see that you always move the x to this section, right? Wherever x is existing, irrespective x is existing over here, irrespective x is existing over here, irrespective x is existing over here. Wherever the x will be existing, you will rotate that x to this sigma max value. In this particular case, now you need to rotate this up to this. This is the angle, right? And this angle is 2 theta p, and theta p will be obviously half of that one, right? So you can clearly see in the first case where we have sigma x, sigma y, tau x y value, and we calculate, and we have to see that angle is negative or positive. If angle is negative, so you rotate the orientation into the counterclockwise direction, and vice versa. If that is positive, so you go clockwise. Sorry, if it is negative, so you go clockwise, and if it is positive, so you go counterclockwise. In this case, you don't need to bother about that. You know that in this particular case, to move to reach x to this sigma max value, you need to rotate it into this direction, that is counterclockwise. And if we use the same methodology, we know that whenever it rotates counterclockwise, sigma theta should be positive. So theta is positive there. Theta is positive. So both are complementing each other, right? So from here you can see, you will calculate the angle in similar fashion. But in this case, you can visualize that how the x will be moving. X will be moving into this direction to reach sigma value, sigma max value, right? So this is your original segment, and then you go into clockwise direction, that is sigma value again, and then you will further go 45, because you are adding 45 to this value, so you will draw that value for the sigma, for the theta's value. So the advantage of this method is that you can visualize in which particular direction it will be moving. The angle will have to be, you will have to move the angle. For example, if x is over here, right, in somewhere in next somewhere in this particular case, you need to move x to sigma max value, right? So you will move this into this direction, and we know that this is whenever it moves clockwise. So first method said it should be negative, angle should be negative. So you are moving into this direction, right? And then you will add 45 into it to get to the sigma s value, right? So you will, this will go into this direction, and that will be your theta p will be 33.33 degree clockwise direction. So you are moving clockwise direction, right? So and then you will add 45 into it, right? So you will add 45 into it to get your theta s value, but theta naught s is not desired over here, so you will not go into that detail. So that's all from my side, and best of luck. Allah Ta'ala khair wa afiyat rakhe janab. We have concluded our syllabus, and then except the combined loading case, we will discuss in detail in the combined loading case in the top-up section. That will be the maximum one lecture, in which we will give you the brief overview of the combined loading, and then we will accordingly go ahead into the top-up section. So thank you so very much. Allah Ta'ala khair wa afiyat rakhe, and best of luck.